Welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the red tsunami here. That's what's happening with your portfolio. You're being swept away. Um, Sorry to polish off a weekend old mini water. Anyway, guys, I'll dispense with the normal pleasantries and just say welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome and hello, and for good measure, one more time. How does it go? Welcome and hello. Loud as you can, fat man. Welcome and hello. Anyway, guys, just put it in simplest terms I can. I am issuing my strongest buy, double down, double deuce, whatever you want to call it. I am buying SMCI. I am buying SMCX. I am buying options. I am buying all of the above. I understand why there's a lot of fear and uncertainty around this stock, but listen, guys, I've been around the block a time or two. I've been rode hard and put away wet. I've made and lost more money in these markets than you could even possibly imagine. I wish I would have made better decisions, but one of the reasons I have this idiotic channel is just to try to, you know, use all the mistakes I've made, all the times I've been fooled, all the times I've fallen for these, dime store hood psychological traps that these tiny weighing fraudsters, these mechanics, these price fixers, you know they crash stocks and they want you to sell at the bottom, and it's as simple as that. And they've done this so many times now with SMCI. It's like it's one of their favorites, and market makers are just making money hand over fist on this stock while you're losing money, because it's inflicting psychological trauma on you, and they use your tiny wing against you. They have photos of you in the shower of the local gym, and they're blackmailing you to dump at the bottom because you have a tiny wing. Well, if we band together, we can overcome it. Um, what's up, two brothers? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. The both of you, Shakar Shrivasta 249. This is scary. It's actually not scary at all, because you have to look past the price action to the fundamentals and understand the price action is intentional. The price action is intentional to get you to buy high and sell low. What just happened on the ER? Of course, they missed revenue by a bit, they missed earnings by a bit, but the street's calling for 7 billion next quarter. They're saying we're going to sell at least 9. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they sell 10. The point I want to make about that is this is not just like wild speculation. Like, are we going to sell these units? These projects for next quarter, this current quarter, they're already basically done. They're fine tuning those projects. I mean, and then the ones for the rest of the year are well underway. These contracts are signed. They're done and dusted. The hardware's there. They're already building these things. Even with the speed of super micro, it takes a little while. It's not like, a weeks long process. So the revenues that management's telling you they're going to make for this year, like, 36 billion at a minimum, or in like the low side of their guidance, it's not highly speculative. I mean, yes, some of the revenue might be pushed out. That's true, as you've already seen that happen. But the point is the sales and demand are there. And if you studied the last product cycle, when these new processors hit and this stops being a commodity game at the trailing edge and it starts being, a more demand, less supply game at the leading edge, the margins go back up. And if you know anything about the SMCI building block solution, that's going to drive margins up. So everybody's citing, 4 quarters of declining margins, but that's what you'd expect, because the revenues they're recognizing on those 5 million are a bunch of old dregs. It's the stuff at the bottom of the beer. You're drinking floaters, guys. You're drinking floaters. That's what you're doing last quarter. You're just drinking somebody else's backwash. And this quarter, you got a nice clean frosty. You know what I mean? So I'm buying the fear. Why do I think this is cheap? Well, the market cap is now way below last year's sales for a company that's growing at an absurd rate and is profitable. And honestly, their balance sheet and their books don't look that bad at all. This company is not drowning in debt. This company is not financially mismanaged. I mean, I understand they've made some mistakes with their accounting and recognizing some revenues prematurely and some related party transactions that should have been reported differently. I understand. I'm not saying, you know, they're perfect. I'm not saying they walk on water. Okay. Okay. But I'm saying look at the price this thing's trading at. It's ridiculous. 20 billion market cap. This year's sales going to be, profitable at 36 billion. Where do you see something like this in an AI trade? It's like this is an absolute mechanics toy, and you guys are basically paying the bill, in my opinion. In my opinion. But anyway, you guys want to throw out some idiotic key levels? You guys like key levels? People like to say that. I don't want to see this little puppy break down below 30, obviously, but it would be nice if it could hold, say, around this 3250 area. That would be great. Where would we like to see it recover? Obviously, we'd like to see it recover this area, which was, previously resistance many times around 37. I mean, this would be nice if it could jump back into this channel at 40, obviously, but you know, that's a stone's throw away. Obviously, just holding 30 would be nice, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is mechanics dumping these shares. I mean, I guess retail is selling on fear, and they might be hitting some stop losses, but I don't know. If you saw this stock go down to 18 and you saw them, but this is obviously breaking this long-term support here. Not long-term, but has long-term in this market. Get the attention span of a lab rat, but breaking the support here at 40, which was good for the last few months anyway. But you see these two runs is just really mimic each other, the structure of them down to this big move here, this big move here, how they set up, even some of the gaps are the same. So this is not chance, guys. I'm telling you, this is mechanics controlling the price action, and this has to be very close to a bottom. And I know, that you could go to zero. How? The AI trade is not over. AI data center demand, whatever the media is telling you, is actually exploding. You hear constantly about, Microsoft new $10 billion deal in Portugal, huge deal in Mexico, huge deal in Britain, just over and over and over, dozens and dozens and dozens. And SMCI is set up to capture the biggest of these big deals. This is a setup. They're going to move this violently back to the upside. Look at these moves, guys. I mean, this chart is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Big scary forest chart. What do you even call this? Double FU, middle fingers in the sky. Crowd surfing. I don't know. New York skyline. Like, what is this chart? Just pump and dumps and nut shots, direct kicks to the nuts. That's what this chart is. Just retail taking it to both stones hard. Right in the old apple bag. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I wanted to say with this one. Is just there really is no reason, look at this move down. I mean, it was making a market here, 50, and then, they telegraphed a bad quarter, came down to 40, and I said, but like, should we buy now? I said, nope, because after the ER, it's going to crash anyway, even though they already told you what's in there, and even though guidance was phenomenal. I mean, I know the EPS guidance wasn't what we wanted to see, but it's still profitable, guys. The growth, look at the growth. I mean, look at where this company could be in just a couple of years. I mean, this could be $100 billion company in terms of yearly sales, and not too distant future. This valuation is just, I'm not going to say Wall Street missed it. This is where they want it. But, you guys know you were buying up here. We were all excited at 50. We thought 50 was, kind of a new floor. We saw some action here. Bounced off support here at 48. And then here you are. But do you dump at 34? And I mean, what's going to move the stock is the next ER, and those orders are already done. They already know what's there. They're not going to give you a number that they're going to miss big again and crash the stock again. I don't think, unless they're looking to bleed us dry and take this thing private or something. But I don't think they're trying to do that at all. It just doesn't make any sense with the structure of this company. Chucky and Ansara own a ton of shares. I mean, they don't want to crash this thing, but I don't know. They don't really care. I mean, they got plenty of money either way. Anyway, guys, I'm just the strongest. I'm the strongest possible buy I've ever been, given all the information I have with SMCI at 34 bucks. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that they're taking it here. But they know you better than I do, apparently. Like Denny Green said, they are who we thought they were. They are who we thought they were. And with retail, that's tiny wing, weak sauce turds. And if you guys are going to keep dumping at the bottom and keep buying a bunch of weekly calls and keep just throwing your money to these guys, then they're going to keep taking it. Believe me, they're going to keep taking it because they think you're weak and they think you're stupid and they think you have a tiny wing. And by God, they're right. SMCI, I don't know. I don't know why it's trading at these multiples. I guess the EPS multiple is not, that favorable because the this is cyclical. These margins are cyclical. It's analysts and talking heads are pretending not to understand that this coming quarter they're about to recognize a rush of black swill revenue, which is going to be at much higher margins, and the building blocks and stuff are going to be at much higher margins. So, they're just pretending not to understand that because they want you to dump at the lows. Let's see. I mean, ET-Val, everybody's hyping Dell. Of course, Kramer always says Dell's the better play, and Dell's a good company. They're making really good progress in this space. I'm not saying SMCI doesn't have a lot of competition, but what if they can capture 33% what they're targeting? And I think with the building blocks, people are going to see the time to deployment, the cost structure, the density. I personally think they're ahead of Dell and HPE on all this stuff. That's what my technical people are telling me. Now, I don't have the, training and experience and intelligence to understand, all of these things firsthand. But when they're explained to me and they say, this is why people would use SMCI on these big mega projects, my women's intuition says they're going to capture a good percentage of that business. And they told you in the last ER, like, we're set up to capture more and more huge projects. Like, that's what we're going for. That's how we're scaling, at this incredible rate. So, yeah, no, I understand, Michael Anthony. I get it. It's beyond a falling knife. It's a falling turd. It's a falling flaming turd. Get off the SMCI. Well, Jiro, you have to understand, I don't just hold. Like, I played the stock for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. I definitely wasn't wrong. I mean, I don't think you understand what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just saying I'm buying it. You can, obviously you don't like it, don't buy it. There's thousands and thousands of stocks out there, and you got to buy something you're confident in, not something some fat dope on YouTube is buying. So yeah, I mean, but I definitely wasn't wrong because I ran this stock from 18 to 50 to I sheared this sheep so many times for so much profit. It's absurd. So I love this stock, but not saying it's for you. Not saying it's for anybody. You guys got to make up your own mind. Just if you buy stuff just because people on YouTube say, it's very dumb. You got to do a lot of research. You got to understand what you're buying. I feel like I understand this company. I feel like I understand management, where they're going. The fact that they're trying to future-proof the company, control certain standards, it just doesn't seem like the type of company that's in it for a quick buck. And they could pump EPS by not investing in the future, not investing in infrastructure, all these new factories, these new facilities. Believe me, they could pump the stock different ways, but that's not what they're into. I think Uncle Chucky really, is very, very passionate about this space and about the work that he does and his company. and he doesn't need any more money. What does he like? Need another blue blazer with brass buttons? So no, but I totally respect the Bears' opinion, and obviously, if you're just looking at it in absolute terms, I mean, but again, you could say, hey, when I was advocating buying this thing, first off, it was like 20, and you'd still be up, a huge profit even at this point, even after it crashed. So there's all kinds of ways you can look at it, but yeah, if you just bought in the 50s, obviously, it looks horrible. So it's all relative where you buy, where you sell. I've said this so many times, like you could make money on any asset, on anything. It doesn't matter what stock it is. It's just, you know, buy low, sell high, and, stay disciplined and understanding your entry points, and you can make money on virtually anything. So, yeah, but obviously I do get the point that this thing is a huge turd. So that's a fair criticism. Um, yeah, Nasdaq crashing. What's going on? I don't know, guys. This is getting ugly. Yeah, it was just I mean, what happened? What they get? CPI. I have to figure out what the new CPI. Let me ask Copilot. Let me see if they can tell us anything. Yeah, ET-Val. It's just that trust me, there's no reason for it. The accounting stuff has been completely overblown and fake for the most part. It's that they pick certain stock. Why did SoFi go from 30 to 4? Why did Neo go from? Because they see all the retail frothing at the mouth, and they see that there's money to be made, and they create that extreme volatility. It's false volatility. It's pumps and dumps. Market makers start the ascent, they start the descent, they prime the pump, and then bunch of retail Pavlov's dogs just get in line to get kicked in the balls by buying high and selling low. You sell the dip and you smell the rip. Um, yeah, I guess there's no numbers. I don't know. Since hasn't been officially released, but I don't know. I guess some CPI just came out. Anybody know what the hell's going on? Natural gas, no debt, price target 2. PD, not sure on that one, Michael Anthony. Have to take a look. Yeah, I do know what you mean, Sean Vaughn. Sean Vian or Sean Bond. Yes, I know exactly what you mean because I was just buying some too because I'm stupid. Stupid is, stupid does. I am definitely fat. Let's see, guys. Who the hell is this? Oh, my bills are late. Let's see, guys. Okay, I got to bail out because I got a ton of work to do. It is Monday, but yeah, SMCI calls. Yeah, CRISPR is getting a lot of heat right now. They're talking about a buyout. The stock is very low for the pipeline, so I've been saying I think that's a huge possibility. I mean, you could probably buy the whole company for like $10 billion right now, and they're paying 20 billion for dog shit in these deals. So I don't know, guys. SoFi really holding up pretty nicely, trying to keep around 27. Given how the growth stocks are getting punched in the gonads, it's not too bad. 10X getting a lot of heat again. They got a ton of new filings, some big institutional investors coming into the stock. Prop, good ER, going nowhere. Shorts still got that one by the balls. Same with IOVA. A lot of good. I think a lot of good stuff ahead for IOVA. Ramp's not as fast as they wanted, but picking up steam. CRISPR, yeah, Neo was up a bit, and then they stepped on it again, so it's dragging it back down to 6. Anyway, guys, I'll check back with you again a little bit later when we have some more information and see how this day played out. But right now, you're going to need a nice bag of ice for your nuts, and a third mortgage, and a payday loan, and a payday candy bar, and a nice big box of wine. Thanks, guys. It's Uwn Poco Moss. Have a great one. Peace. I'll talk to you in just a little bit here on the radio together.